Alright, welcome to What We Learned Picks and Bans. This is Game 5, Team Impulse vs Cloud9. We got a Vel'Koz mid lane coming out here. I honestly don't know. He's very immobile, but he does a lot of damage, especially from what I remember playing games against him. That could be a problem, but we'll just go through this. I don't really know. That's the issue. I don't really know what he is going to be doing in the game. So, alright. Damage per respective HP. We have Cloud9 coming out with a sustained comp versus another sort of long-range poke comp. While Callista isn't as long range, it's like a protect the carry comp. So they both kind of have the damage. I think Team Impulse is going to have a little bit of a damage advantage here. But it's not, they're not going to be able to do the damage later in the game. So pressure versus engage. This is going to be C9. It's definitely the Azir, and once the Tristana gets going, they're not going to really be able to get in to Cloud9 and get close to Cloud9 to do anything to them. I wish I knew more about Vel'Koz for this. Okay. Carry versus control. So Callista, Vel'Koz, Lulu, Echo, Janna. They just have to stop the carries from coming into Azir Tristana. And they have at least Maokai Karma to do this. Potentially dodge the Vel'Koz damage. I think with the speed up from Karma that might deal with the Vel'Koz. And Azir should just deal with Callista and Echo. There should not be a problem with them. The sustain from Lulu and Janna shouldn't really matter unless, you know, Callista gets in near the Tristana and into the Elise and Maokai, but the Azir ult should really stop that from happening. And Karma should give enough mobility. But Echo can put down his zone. He could get a stun and start that fight really well. And Vel'Koz could get a slow. Do they have engage? I don't think that's silence. I think it's Malzahar. Alright, so carry versus control. I'm gonna give it a minus on that because small to tip, because Cloud9 needed to get more disengaged. They have Azir, so he can disengage the Echo coming in and potentially the Callista coming in too. That's all they really need, and at least maybe can tackle somebody else. So poke versus sustain. Pretty sure Vel'Koz has stronger poke. Callista is not so much. Lulu's annoying. They don't really have any poke on their side, so maybe we'll give this to tip because they have poke. Pick versus disengage. They have Elise, but they have Janna, so that's not that big of a deal. They have Callista, Vel'Koz, Lulu. This is kind of canceled out. No one's really has pick. That's really good because Cloud9 doesn't want to worry about picks. Burst versus healing. So Vel'Koz does a lot of damage. I don't know how much of his burst, but I know his ultimate is really long range. I'm gonna have to look that up after, and hopefully I got better. Or maybe Incarnation is just gonna crush lane. I don't think the burst is really gonna matter. Maybe slightly towards tip, because Azir and Sneaky, they're not really burst. There's like sustain. Tip has healing, so they're never gonna be bursted. They just have to sustain them down. Maybe that's gonna work out. Split push. Lulu versus Maokai. It doesn't really matter. The win. I'm gonna give it to C9 because I don't think Tip has the burst necessary to destroy Tristana and Azir. But the one thing is, I don't know what Vel'Koz does for burst, so I'm gonna go look it up after this. But we're going C9 here. I don't think Vel'Koz, because if Vel'Koz did do real significant amount of damage like Victor, I feel like he'd be played more. That's why I haven't actually looked into what his champion does for numbers. So we're giving C9 maybe a little bit higher than normal.
Flashless Elise skates around. Impact flashes for the Glitter Lance. Lands even more damage, but Balls is here to buy some time. Slowed down further by Vel'Koz, and there's the knockup. And they really want this one. Team
Balls,
still pushing through.
okay, yeah. I'll just go with it. C9 small. No, I'll just do medium. Let me go look at this.
They really want this one. Here's the W in.
Tip might have damage advantage. C9. Engage, the pressure, the engage is the only thing holding C9. I mean, the pressure is the only thing holding C9 back, and this damage question. So if the damage question is low, damage question, the poke doesn't matter, because their pressure is so far. Burst healing, carry control, not that big of a deal. They don't need to carry control. They're not gonna burst. Pick disengage. It really leaves Cloud9's pressure as the strongest thing. It's only gonna be Tip's damage. That if they survive long enough and get in close enough, they might be able to kill them. But yeah, all right. Cloud9, medium sort of win chance.